Forest 0, Liverpool 1. They left it late, but Liverpool get the win. They get the 3 points, and they have Darwin Nunez to thank for an incredible 1-0 victory over Nottingham Forest. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Yes, today's video is going to centre around Liverpool's big 1-0 win over Nottingham Forest. Liverpool are continuing this incredible journey, continuing this incredible run right now, and maintain their position at the top of the table for at least this upcoming weekend. They put the pressure on both Manchester City and Arsenal. City yet to play tomorrow when they take on Manchester United, of course, in the Manchester derby. Arsenal won't play till Monday night when they take on Sheffield United. Both teams will feel a little bit deflated that they were so agonisingly close to seeing a title rival almost drop points. But then up steps Darwin Nunez, substitute turned goal scorer, to aid Jurgen Klopp's men to a big 1-0 win in this one. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination, it wasn't the best you're going to see from Liverpool this season. But once again, Liverpool with a depleted squad, with a squad that is hit with injuries and players returning from injuries, so not quite at the level of match fitness, once again soldier on, and it's incredible to watch. It really is. And they are slowly but surely turning me from a doubter to a believer yet again in terms of winning a Premier League title. I still think Manchester City are the favourites, do not get me wrong on that. But with each and every single game that this team manages to soldier on through and get the win in, the more and more I start to believe that maybe, just maybe, this season could still hold a Premier League title winner's medal for Jurgen Klopp and his side in, of course, Klopp's final season in charge of the Reds. Didn't want to bring a damper on it like that, but at the same time, we've got to focus on the here and now. A big 1-0 win for Liverpool, and what was going to be a massive week in store for us. We're going to be talking all about that. We're going to be talking about the game and everything else in between, and we're going to be talking about some weird Arsenal fans online as well. And maybe we'll get into more of that in another video. But for now, we'd like to remind you, please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both of them always and forever be greatly appreciated in this match reaction video. Get in the comments as well. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That'll make for great interesting reading, I'm sure. Down below in that comment section, do get involved down there. Would love to hear from you all in regards to a big 1-0 win from Liverpool today. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's get on with the story. It was always going to be tough. 3 o'clock kickoff away from home. Nottingham Forest. They've been growing more and more resolute under Nuno Espirito Santo in recent weeks. They've not exactly been playing great football, eye-catching football. Attacking-wise, they've not exactly been at their best in recent weeks, but they have been strong and resolute, no doubt. And of course, against the Liverpool side, they were always going to get chances. They were always going to get opportunities, and Forest had them chances. It was just, once again, the difference in quality in the final third. Like I say, Darwin Nunez, difference maker on the day, really helped Liverpool. A depleted Liverpool side that, again, I don't want to go over the injuries, because it's already been told and retold and well documented over time about the injuries that Liverpool are facing, the injuries that Liverpool have, and everything. But I can't say it again. Like, I know that obviously Szoboszlai came back and was a substitute. I know that obviously Darwin Nunez himself was a substitute, and we're slowly starting to get a couple of these players. But I don't want to speak too soon about it, because Jesus Christ, the injury, this injury bug has not given us any respite in our most important part of the season so far. So I don't want to speak too quickly on it, but fingers crossed it does continue to give us a bit more respite. Obviously, we've got a massive week coming up. We've got the internationals that are upcoming as well. And then hopefully we'll start having more players back for what should be the final run-in of the Premier League season. Hopefully by that point, I know Salah may be back in training next week. I know that he may be ready for the Manchester City game. I know that obviously Alisson's out beyond that point, but Kelleher's doing fantastic in his absence. I know that obviously Trent's still out, and we've still got a couple of other long-term absentees out. I know Bajcetic is still out, Thiago's still out, Matip's obviously out for the rest of the season. Jota's still out, Jones is still out. Hopefully they'll be back at some point between now and the run-in. We've still got a fair few injuries, but we are slowly getting there, and the key players in particular that are back are the likes of your Darwin Nunez's, your Andy Robertson is about to full fitness. You're obviously getting back Dominic Szoboszlai as well. We're slowly but surely getting back to a stronger picture than our kids, and as amazing and as incredible of what the kids have been fitting in seamlessly, it seems, with the senior squad and how well they've done since getting to that level. They're not going to be able, I don't think, to withstand the title race when the pressure really does heat up, when the intensity really turns on a few extra notches. And that's where we need our more experienced players. And with all due respect to the likes of Jayden Danns and I think Bobby Clark, who was excellent today, I think as good as what they could be, not necessarily ready yet. So it's actually good to see that we've actually got a couple of these big name players that are set to return, and maybe these youngsters can have a say, and maybe they will go out there with no fear, and they will still obviously have a say as the season wears on, of course, and as the running gets even more and more intense. But of course, I don't. With our squad being stretched as of right now, you could say we did get away with one a little bit today. There wasn't maybe as much added time on as what there was in the 8/9 minutes of added on time, because obviously two of the Forest players, and we'll address that, by the way, the two Forest players got booked for time wasting. Yeah, like I say, we may not have got away with it on another day, but these big results are what drives title contenders. This is what we've been saying for a number of years now, and it's no exception that it's Liverpool. A lot of people have been saying, "Oh, well, Arsenal do this," and Arsenal get criticised for it. It's not seen as having a strong and an incredible mentality. It is, believe me, trust me, I will say it. I've said it about Arsenal when they got last minute winners and last minute draws against the likes of the winners against Luton and the winners against Manchester United, for example. I said that's what builds character, it's what builds intensity, it's what builds confidence, it's what builds that mentality to go on again and again and again and again and keep going for the season. And this is no different. Like, Liverpool were not great today by any stretch of the imagination. They had a couple of chances here and there, they had a few half chances here and there, nothing clear cut, nothing clinical. And at the other end, of course, if it wasn't for a couple of very world-class saves again by Kieran Kelleher, who is being outstanding right now in the absence of Alisson Becker, of course, it could have been a different story. It very well could have been a different story. But misses by Forest, gilt edge misses as well by Forest, saves by Kelleher have all added and built the baseline for what happened in injury time. Deep within injury time, Alexis McAllister's cross, met by Darwin Nunez, who heads the ball into the back of the net. Comes on as a substitute. It was probably a bit unlucky not to score a little bit earlier, with the Forest goalkeeper making an exceptional save from his effort as well. Like I say, it was just one of them games where Liverpool weren't great, but they managed to get the job done when it mattered most. And I think with this kind of team where it's being stretched as it is, that's all we're sort of hoping for right now. And I know I've said in the past, like, oh, performances are what win you titles. Well, this is what wins you titles as well. Digging deep when it matters most. It doesn't matter whether you're Manchester City, Arsenal, or in this case, Liverpool. This is what obviously City have done time and time again down the years, and a reason why teams get so frustrated with them when they win these kinds of trophies. They win the Premier League title, they win the Champions League, they win the FA Cups, whatever, Carabao Cups, whatever it may be, because they have the mentality to dig deep when it matters most, to pull out and grind out these kinds of results. When Liverpool were at the top of their game a few years ago, this is what Liverpool continuously did as well, to challenge Manchester City. And on the season where Liverpool were just head and shoulders clear above the rest, This is what they did time and time again. Whether it was the games against the likes of your Newcastles or your Aston Villas. Aston Villa one, definitely a big one there. This is what builds you as a title contender. This is what builds that mentality. This is what builds that confidence, and that's what gives you the platform to build upon. Not every game is going to be a pretty perfect 5, 6, 7-0 performance. There are going to be performances like this where you've got to really grind down and dig deep. And fair play to Nottingham Forest for for making Liverpool do exactly that. They were strong in key areas. They were difficult to break down. They were difficult to play against. Yes, they did take advantage a little bit of the likes of Joe Gomez once again playing as the number 6 role. They did take advantage, I think, a little bit of Liverpool's high line with Anthony Elanga getting in a couple of times beyond that defensive structure. But in the end, they couldn't take their chance when they mattered most, and Liverpool did. And like I say, with that this is what Nunez needs to do more of. He needs to step up when it matters most. And I've got to say, past month or two, I know that obviously he has missed a couple of weeks of injuries and things, but the past couple of months or so, this guy's been stepping up. Whether it be just performances alone, whether it be through his goal contributions, or whether it just be through making himself a thorn in the side of opposition defenders time and time again. This guy absolutely steps up, and he stepped up again big time here to get a big header, big 3 points, and a big win. As far as what Liverpool are concerned, to beat Nottingham Forest, maintain their stance at the top of the table, move again, 4 points clear of Manchester City, 5 no more of Arsenal, of course, until, of course, they play this weekend. And it's going to be big this weekend. We've got a Manchester derby coming up on Sunday between City and United. Obviously, everybody expects City to go there, absolutely dominate and win. But again, it's never that foregone a conclusion, especially not a Manchester derby, even though obviously, United are pretty poor. They are terrible. They are missing their main striker up front, their main goal threat. It's going to be a tough afternoon for Man United, but there is still a possibility of them getting something. Similar sort of way, Arsenal are against Sheffield United on Monday. Now, Arsenal appear to have been against Sheffield United for the past few weeks, which is why they've scored so many goals, with all due respect. No, but in all seriousness, Arsenal should be winning that game, and Arsenal should be winning that game pretty damn comfortably, and that is exactly what I'm expecting. So, it's a massive win by Liverpool. It was a much-needed win by Liverpool to just put a little bit more extra pressure on those two teams to get the job done in their respective games as well. But they are two games that I'm expecting the favourites to come out on top of. I'm expecting Arsenal to get the 3 points on Monday night. I'm expecting Manchester City to beat their city rivals in Manchester United on Sunday afternoon as well. So big games, but ones that should have a likely conclusion, shall we say, of victories to the favourites. This game, like I say, it wasn't maybe as easy as a game as what everybody predicted. It was always going to be interesting, and I did mention in my prediction, although I did predict a bit of a hefty 3-1 win to Liverpool, I did question how far can this team go? How far can this already stretched Liverpool team go? Is it all going to collapse if the injuries don't start healing quicker anytime soon? If the injury doesn't seem like it's going to rest anytime soon, if the injury doesn't seem to be having any respite anytime soon, is it just a ticking time bomb that's willing to explode for Liverpool? There are a fair few questions in regards to that, but when you keep going again and again and again and again, it doesn't matter who's going to be in that team, they're going to pick up on that, and the character's going to grow, the mentality's going to grow, and it's going to be one of those things where you're just thriving off the buzz. You're thriving off the endorphins of it. You're thriving off everything that win kind of gives you. And that is exactly what I'm loving right now with this club. The way this was probably one of the more calmer games I've actually been in. Calmer games in terms of Liverpool weren't winning. It was getting on a bit. It was getting on. And I was actually pretty calm about it. as much as everyone was seemingly panicking and was all like, "Oh, we need to get a goal," I was probably one of the more like calmer ones. I was like, "Goal's coming." And I've never been like that. I've never been like that. That's just how much I'm enjoying the ride right now of Liverpool. That's how much I'm enjoying this moment of the Liverpool journey, I guess you could say, and how much I'm enjoying it. Like I say, we've got a massive week ahead of us. We've got Europa League. We've got Manchester City coming up the weekend after, before obviously all the international stuff, which I don't mind the international break in March, because it's always a big symbol that once that's over and done with, you get the run-in. And the run-in is the most intense, most important part of the season, of course. So glad to still be in this massive week next week. We look forward to this weekend, of course, and hopefully, like, Sheffield United maybe do us a favour. Highly doubt it, but we pray and hope that maybe the stars align and maybe Sheffield United can do us a favour on Monday night. We pray and we hope that Manchester United, of all teams, can do us a favour. I know, very rare that you're getting a Liverpool fan cheering on Manchester United, but fingers crossed again, the stars align and United manage to do something with that and help us a little bit. But yeah, like I say, we're just taking it one game at a time. Big week ahead of us, a massive week ahead of us, and one that I'm really looking forward to. And these are the kinds of games you obviously want to be in. You want to be in a big not exactly Europa League clash, but you want to be in a big a big game before a bigger game, if you know what I mean. You want to be in a big game that's part of your season, because obviously, you know, last season was pretty poor, which is why we're in the Europa League in the first place. But you want to be in that kind of atmosphere where you've got a game on Thursday and then you've got a game coming up the following weekend, which is going to be absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Absolutely mega. And I cannot wait for this week. Just in regards to the Nottingham Forest fans, which seems so bitter. Look, I get it. You've had a lot of things go against you this season. They've had a fair few poor moments with referees and VAR and things that have gone against you. I 100% understand that. And obviously being from Nottingham myself, I obviously cast a very casual eye over how you're doing all the time and everything. But I think if you'd have stuck away the chances, you wouldn't have anything to moan about. So maybe a little bit focus on your own team. Look, I know that sounds a bit hypocritical in saying, I know that there was a bit of a dodgy sort of, Canate went down holding his head, the ref stopped play, gave the ball back to Liverpool, and maybe not. I don't know. Depends how you see it and everything. You still have time to defend, obviously, that particular phase in play. But like I say, if you'd have stuck away the chances when they were gifted to you, maybe you wouldn't be in this position. Maybe that's what's going to happen at the end of the season, with maybe you going down, maybe, potentially. If that is to be the case, obviously you're going to be in a massive relegation battle. You've still got a charge looming over your head, which is going to obviously see you maybe drop points going forward. We'll obviously have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, like I say, your team put in a very good effort today. But again, maybe focus on more the chances that you missed rather than blaming everybody else, if you know what I mean. I know that you've obviously had a lot of bad things go against you, and yeah, well, guess what? Liverpool have too. So we've all been there. We've all had these things go against us at the same time. Some just are more, or shall I say, some are just less defendable than others, shall we say. Shall we just say that? I don't want to be dismissive about it. I don't want to be like that. But certain things like that are a bit iffy. Also, just a word on Arsenal fans. The weirdest fan base on any sort of platform. I've seen a few Arsenal fans be a bit worried, be a bit scared, be a bit angry and annoyed that Liverpool managed to get a winner deep in injury time in the 99th minute. Yeah, deal with it. The amount of times that you found winners, like I say, I've named you a couple of examples there of times where you've managed to find winners in very deep in injury time. Yeah, The reason why the added on time was added on to the added on time was because there was a bit of time wasting from Nottingham Forest players. There was a couple of yellow cards in there as well. So that's the reason why there was a bit of extra time there. Deal with it. Liverpool have done this time and time again, in which they've managed to dig deep and find goals deep within injury time or deep within the final minutes and seconds of games. Yeah, this is what being in a title race is all about. So, Arsenal fans, deal with it. Not bothered whatsoever. Deal with it, Arsenal fans. I know there was a fair few online and on social media that were a bit annoyed by the fact that Liverpool managed to find a winning goal. A bit annoyed by the fact that it was over the supposed added on time. Like, anybody actually cares about that, because we all know that referees just make it up on the spot anyway. So, yeah. There are going to be times where you're going to do the same, Arsenal fans, and we're going to be a little bit annoyed, but we're going to be like, well, it happens. It happens, doesn't it? So, yeah, just be a bit mindful of that. Just be a bit mindful of, there are some weird Arsenal fans out there. Some of them are very much putting the fan base as a very weird sort of fan base, in my opinion. So, yeah, let that be. No, big win for Liverpool, 1-0. Darwin Nunez with the winner. Like I say, he needs to do more of that. He needs to step up when it matters most, and he's been doing fantastically all season. I know that his overall game has improved. I've been one of his biggest defenders on this, and I am loving everything that he's throwing at us right now. Fingers crossed everything looks up from here for Liverpool in terms of injuries, in terms of a massive week ahead of us in the Europa League and in the Premier League again. I'm looking forward to everything that's coming up right now, and up the Reds, up the quadruple chasing Reds. I know it's not the quadruple, but let's face it, we'll make do with what we've got. Up the quadruple chasing Reds on this one. Love every second of it right now. Big win. Fantastic. Love it. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of this big Liverpool win today? Darwin Nunez, the hero, the match winner, the difference maker on the day. Would love to know what you guys think and feel on this particular story. Otherwise, let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you call it, down below in the comment section. Hit the like button on the way if you enjoy the video. Subscribe if you're new, want to see more content like this. Both things, all of those things will be greatly appreciated as always. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another instant match reaction to Liverpool's big 1-0 victory over Nottingham Forest. Darwin Nunez with the only goal of the game, the difference maker, deep within injury time. Massive win. Darwizzy, my striker. I absolutely love it right now, and I'm loving life. Liverpool maintain their stance at the top of the table. Loving life as of right now. That's big. That is huge. Yeah, loving it. Loving it. We're loving it like that. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Have a good rest of your night. And I'll see you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks, everyone. See you again soon.